Fani Willis will be disqualified, disbarred, indicted, arrested, convicted, and destroyed if there is any justice in this country, in this world, if there is anything even remotely appearing to be justice. It will be not only that she will be found out, not only that she will be held up as an example of what happens when you have total contempt for the system, but she will be a footnote, an asterisk, and a grease spot in juridical history. I cannot tell you, as a lawyer, as an officer of the court, what I am seeing and what I have seen. And this contemptuous behavior on her part and how it blows my mind. I have never seen anything like it. Let me just say this again. I've never seen anything like this. In a courtroom, state, federal to be sure, traffic court, family court, administrative hearings, name it. Disciplinary hearings, homeowner association meeting, nothing, never in the history of humankind, in any forum or tribunal, has there ever been anybody who has been so contemptuous and contumacious as this louse and lout Fani Willis? And now we find out through Cellhawk, through this ability to target where particular cell phones were able to determine that not only was she lying, but her mush-mouthed, marble-headed boy toy, Mr. Wade, we know where he was. He says, I was at her apartment maybe, or her condo, which she was subleasing, I don't know, maybe 10 times or so. It was 35 times in one particular stint. Not only that, the times by which he travels absolutely and actually comports with what is called a booty call. Now, normally, this stuff doesn't matter. It's irrelevant, and yes, you're right. But when something becomes put into fact as an issue, if you sit before the court and you say, I never wore that red hat, I don't own that red hat. It reminds me of O.J. Simpson during the trial when he said the Bruno Magli shoes, those ugly-ass shoes, I don't own them. I wouldn't wear one. I wouldn't have one. And I was in the Santa Monica courtroom, and I saw it. The picture blown up from the Buffalo Bills program. There it was. So this usually seemingly irrelevant statement about shoe apparel now becomes emblematic and indicative of a bigger problem, the total unreliability of this. Let me say this again. This woman, if she were Donald Trump, or if she were an associate of Donald Trump, or if she were any of the originally, 19 defendants that they came after with an absolute ferocity, racketeering. Now, it's not far-fetched. She has had her office has had some experience in the past. Racketeering organizations or enterprises can indeed occur. But think more like a cartel, a motorcycle gang, the Gambino crime family. Not these people who didn't even know each other. The only thing they have in common is the fact that they're on the same indictment. And you've got this judge who was doing everything in his power. I don't know. I can't read it. I don't know anything about Judge McAfee. I have no idea. But Ashley Merchant and Sado, the Trump's lawyer, just had this little crack of light, and they just barreled through this to expose this absolute bombast for the lying, mendacious, contemptuous, felonious, soon to be. Let me tell you something. If this were anybody else, of course, you realize that when it's Trump or anything involving Trump or anything involving the Democrats or anything involving politics today. Take reality as you know it and invert it. But let me tell you what normally would be done. She would be referred to the local bar association for some kind of damage, some type of disciplinary hearing, which could lead to disbarment. It's not so much that you lied in court. You lied repeatedly in the capacity as a prosecutor, in the capacity of bringing perhaps the most important and powerful and serious criminal charge against any former president in the history of our country. So it kind of raises the stakes a little bit. And then you've got this judge rule, this buffoon, who decides, I'm just going to spew nonsense. Nathan Wade basically says, well, I went back and I changed my statements made under oath in interrogatories because the question was, did I ever have sexual relations while in the course of our marriage? Well, and he's still married, by the way. They're still in the divorce. So if he, anything now, technically speaking, is in the marriage. But through this convoluted, again, imperious, this weird, the way they turn the court is almost like a mummery or something. They consider this to be some little, I don't know, inconvenience where they can say whatever they want to hide whatever they feel is beyond the realm of normal. They ask him, how did you do this? How did you change this? How did you, ex post facto retrofit a sworn statement? Was this the Fifth Amendment? Was this what? And he said, no, it's because of privacy. Because you see, this really is private. And I'm thinking, I can't believe what I'm saying. In the old days, there was a word people used, retarded. And it's not used now because of various reasons. But if ever there was a reason to either bring the word back, only in his case, it would be now. Because this is the only way that you can even explain this lunatic behavior. I've never heard anything like it. It's like he doesn't understand. Which goes to show you, this is the special prosecutor that she picked who had this special knowledge. It's not even on his letterhead or his website. He knows nothing about this. At one particular point, remember he was working 24 hours a day? Unbelievable. Everything is just unbelievable. And I'm telling you, this is to the Republican Party. This is to the, whatever the version of the 65 Project is. Take your inspiration from what the Democrats would do. They would destroy. Look what they've done to Rudy Giuliani. Look what they've done. Look at what they do. Just look at this. I don't tell me that she's going to walk away from this unscathed. Don't tell me. I don't believe they don't do it. Let me explain something to you. Republicans are weird because they have things like CPAC. They have organizations, they have meetings, and they like to talk a good game. Democrats don't have meetings where they define their roles. They just do it. And they're bloodthirsty. And they're absolutely brutal, ruthless in their contempt and their focus in grinding into dust someone they don't like. I am not exaggerating this. I am not doing this just for the sake of some YouTube audience metric. Fani Willis is off the charts insane. Insane, entitled, and it keeps getting better. And there is no justice if she is not disqualified, disbarred, indicted, arrested, convicted, and destroyed, and ground into dust. Please like what I'm saying. please subscribe to this effort of mine. And if you would be so kind, honor us with your thoughts and comment as you see fit.